We have another very important game today against NRG, one that hopefully we can take home, and I think it's time that we talk some TSM. Yes, that is right. Another important game here against NRG, a team that is struggling, one that has the exact same record as we do. I think one that has arguably better talent than we do, but they've really underperformed so far this split. I do expect them to make a run, but I'm really hoping that they get their win in their first game and they could, I guess, get a win in the second game, but that we can take them down. We've already got a 1-0 over them. We're very fortunate. We got 3 wins in the first half. This second half, we're starting off our first 2 days of the week with games against 2 teams that we already have 1-0s over. A 2-0 against this team would be huge, massive, very, very, very important. I cannot express that enough. So let's kind of dive in real quick to what needs to happen. FBI is the guy who needs to be taken care of. He's actually top 3 in kills at the position right now. And that's a big surprise, I think, to a lot of people when you kind of look at how NRG has fared. It's not really been on him. He's looked solid, but it's really hard to describe because I had to go back and kind of look at their games again. I was looking over their stats, and I was like, man, they should be better than they are, but they're not really winning any of their lanes. Contracts is playing fine, but like they're just not having the big moments. They're not winning the big fights in order to propel themselves to wins. And I think that that's really important to remember as we're moving through our game, because I think that we have a lot of guys who are willing to try to make big plays in order to win. I think Hanser and Wild Turtle specifically have that killer instinct. So when I'm looking at NRG and who you need to kind of, keep contained to a certain degree, it's FBI. I think he's not necessarily had a great laning phase like most of their team. They're picking late game comps. They're not always winning those. And I really do believe that, he's going to be a guy that we need to focus on. Just keep him contained as much as you can. Try to maybe do at least one tower dive. Get him pushed in. Give Wild Turtle and Chime a winning lane. And if not, if you do pick a losing lane, understand that Ignar is going to roam. So that's going to leave FBI by himself. While he's pretty good at handling pressure, I think that some focus, some eyes from Boogie are going to be what allows for us to, contain FBI like I'm talking about. And if you put him far enough behind, I think the rest of this team really is in trouble. Now, when I'm looking at it for us, though, I am looking at Hanser. Dokla has died the most of all top laners in the LCS. He has consistently been behind. I know that Hanser has kind of been in a similar boat, but he doesn't die a lot, and I would like to see him make some plays. I think Cassante, yet again, until this champion gets, giga nerfed, he's just going to kind of be there. He's a good tank. He's a solid DPS. He can, he's got CC to the point where he can take, an 80 carry completely out of a fight. I think, what they've been doing is they've been putting Hanser on champions that have kind of enabled him to focus down one, specific player, right? Whether it's the Malphite or this Cassante, he can kind of get in there and I think really make a major impact on the rest of the fight. This game, he's going to have to do that. I would love to see him get a decent lead in the top lane. I prefer not to see him on Renekton, but if he has to, fine. I think that's also still a champion that you can do something with in terms of, mega focus and kind of burst them down. So I think that it's going to be on Hanser to help us win this game. Now, I did do my predictions piece, and I'm pretty sure I picked NRG. This one's a coin flip for me, and not just because this is a TSM show. I am actually going to pick TSM here the more that I've kind of looked into it again. I slept on it. I changed my mind. I actually do think that we win this game. I just don't think that CLG have that playmaking ability. Like, they are a solid team all around, but they need somebody who's going to step up and make an explosive play and push us to, past our limits. And I don't think that they have anybody on their team that can do that. Whereas I think that the two most important lanes are going to be Wild Turtle and Haunter, top and bot. And I think both of them are able to really not only be playmakers, but they know how and when to sacrifice certain objectives, certain amounts of CS, certain vision even, in order to then make a play later, in a much better situation. Sure, they may take some risks, but I just think that their veterancy is going to come into play here. And while Dokla and FBI obviously have a ton of games under their belt as well, I just really think the mindset that Hanser and Wild Turtle have, that killer instinct that I don't think a lot of players on CLG have, is going to be what gives us the advantage. So I am going to pick us to start the week 2-0, get us to 5-6, which is close. I think close. I think 6 to 7 wins get you pretty much guaranteed into that 18 playoffs. So 2 wins here to start off the second half of the split, I think would be absolutely massive. I am predicting it to happen. Let me know what you think in the comments section below, and remember to like, subscribe, and, well, I guess comment again. Sorry, it's just in my head. To let us know what you guys are thinking about this, and to catch all the other great content on the Game House's YouTube channel. Do remember as well that there's one more episode left. We'll be going over Golden Guardians for Friday. So with that, I'll catch you guys on the next one.